Hey, Valley Girl 5678 here, and it's time for another album review. Today we are going to be talking about this new Empress of album for your consideration. This is the fourth studio album from Empress of, following 2021's I'm Your Empress Of, which was a project that absolutely had some highlights, but ultimately did feel a bit unfinished. Here on For Your Consideration, however, we have improvements on multiple fronts, with the production being the standout improvement for me. The entire album consists of crispy, refreshing, percussion-forward, unique production stylings that help the album's cohesive and consistent club/dance vibes not be stagnant or get boring, which does absolutely happen on albums of this genre. This is best exemplified on the opening track For Your Consideration, which, fun fact, was produced by Valley Girl, shout out. It's a great intro track for this album, and just a great track overall, about a wishy-washy beginning of a romance, which sets the album up very well thematically, as this wishy-washy romance is kind of the main theme of the whole album. This crispy production characteristic of the project is often married with a Latin flair. On tracks like Preciosa, Kira, Facile, and Sucia. And in fact, Sucia almost has like Arca-like stylings, which makes sense because a main aspect of Arca's music is crispy production with a Latin flair. This Latin flair is, of course, a staple of Empress Of's discography as well, but it's never been as heavily present as it is on this album. It feels like a long time coming, and it's honestly quite satisfying, as it no longer feels like she's holding back on that front, which it absolutely has at times in the past. As far as Latin influences go, Feminine is the most Latin club dance-forward track on the album, and it's about wanting a Latino feminine man. Fair the fuck enough, and it's something I would absolutely j'adore hearing in the club. Another song that I would not only j'adore hearing in the club, but a song that I need to hear in the club stat is Lorelei. Like, this song is that fucking girl, I'm so sorry. And I love the track lyrically as well, as Empress Of's real name is Lorelei, just spelled with a Y instead of an AI. So in some ways I feel like on this track she's kind of calling herself out, saying like, what is that girl's name that is making me cry so much? Does she realize how much she's made me cry? When like, it's her because it's all in her head, but it feels like it's a different person because of how much she's kind of like worked herself up, hence the different spelling. So that's super cute and fun. The Type of Girl Am I has a bit more of a like fun, bubbly production than other tracks on the album, but don't get me wrong, it definitely is still club appropriate. It has some really self-aware lyricism, and it's honestly just a really interesting song overall. And in fact, the only track on this album that isn't club appropriate is Baby Boy, which is actually a guitar track, but to be honest, it's quite refreshing given that the majority of the album is very percussion and synth heavy. It feels like a breath of fresh air at the tail end of the album. There are two features on this project, the first one being Kiss Me feat. Rina Sawayama, which is a super cute track that honestly gives me like a combo of 2000s and 2010s girly pop vibes, which is a nostalgic slay. However, the track overall does fall a little short, and to be honest gets a little boring, especially lyrically. But the other feature, What's Love feat. Muna, is a major slay. Katie and Empress Of's voices sound so good together, and it's a great closer for the album as it gives the entire album closure sonically and thematically. So overall I think this is a pretty good project. It's definitely the type of LP you can throw on while you're getting ready to go out, but it still has a vulnerability and humility to it that a lot of dance records do lack. In fact, it kind of reminds me of Charlie XCX's Crash in that way. Crash with a Latina flair. So I'm going to give this album a 7. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep an eye out for my song of this week coming out at the end of the week. Make sure to follow me on Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok, all linked below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!